All right, time for a little segment we call Is That McNuts with Monica McNutt. That's her dropping her phone and casually strolling in an hour and a half late. McNutt, great to have you.
It was a long day yesterday. It's chill. It's Friday.
Number one, is it McNuts to say the Knicks will repeat as champs next year?
Yeah, these are my guys, and I'd love to see it. But we've got 8 champions in 8 years. Will they be the first to buck the trend? It just feels like the league is not really designed for dynasties, repeats right now. And that's okay. Could they buck it? We'll have to wait and see. But right now, I'm going with the pattern.
Their starting 5 played about 88% of the available regular season games. That's extraordinary health. McNutt, number 2. If I said LeBron will leave the Lakers this offseason, is that McNuts?
No, it's not McNuts at all. I'm not 100% sure where he's going. I don't know that. But he could do whatever he wants at this point. And it's clear that the Lakers kind of need to begin to move into their future, which in the long term will not include LeBron. It's been a fantastic career, but it's wrapping up.
The guy has been the ultimate content machine. I don't know what we're going to do when he's gone. Maybe we go down to 3 days a week. Finally, is it McNuts to say Giannis will be on a new team next season?
Nah, it's not at all. It seems like we are... Untenable is a strong word, but I feel like we're heading there, even though maybe Giannis himself might not want to say it. But at this point, the back and forth and I'll let Vinny elaborate on that. It just, move on. Move on. He brought a championship to the city, but it clearly is not working any longer.
All right, let's get Wendy and Vince Goodwill in here as well for this conversation. Wendy, I want to begin with you. Is Giannis the biggest chip everyone is waiting for this offseason in the NBA?
Absolutely, without question, because even though there may only be 2 or 3 teams that are truly in the Giannis bidding, when you have a trade of this magnitude with potentially a bunch of pieces moving around, very often there's cascading side deals. A classic example of this was a couple of years ago when Dame Lillard was traded. We had no idea where he was going. He goes to Milwaukee, but that ended up leading Drew Holiday to be rerouted to the Celtics. And that Drew Holiday trade to the Celtics was one of the most consequential moves of that entire offseason. And the Celtics didn't even know it was going to be possible until they saw Dame Lillard get moved. So when you have a team like the Los Angeles Lakers that have enormous amounts of salary cap space and they're not sure how they're going to spend it, they're watching this Giannis situation very closely because even though they're not going to get Giannis, a trade could end up falling into their lap that it could end up really helping them.
The timing of these situations is always fascinating because of what it means, not for the teams involved, but for everyone else with the ancillary ripple effects. What do you think happens if a Giannis trade doesn't go down soon?
It better. Because, hey, what are we going to be talking about if it doesn't happen? But secondarily, if you think about it, this thing is dragged on for so long. Will he, won't he? And it doesn't seem like there's a future for Giannis in Milwaukee as far as where he needs to go. Secondarily, if you're one of these other teams, you're Boston, if you're Miami, you can't make contingency plans. When you get Giannis, you know what you also have to get? Shooting. You know what you also have to get? Maybe another backup big. You can't go and get those things until you get the big piece and you know that you actually have the big pieces, especially if it's Miami. Let's say it's Miami. They probably have to get a third team involved. Who's that third team going to be? Does that involve Tyler Hero? What does that mean? So a lot of NBA business cannot start until this piece of business is handled.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm with Vinny. It needs to get done sooner rather than later. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but you definitely have to get pieces around Giannis. And I also think you got to make sure that you've got the personality pieces that are going to be required. I mean, Giannis is a big-time superstar. He comes with big-time superstar things. We'll see. I'm just not sure where he is at this point in his career. Is he still a very valuable asset? 100%. I mean, he's a guy that is constant conversation in the MVP race when you just look at it statistically. But we've not seen him really perform in a postseason in 3 years now. So I'm really fascinated to see what teams think that they're going to do if they make this move.
Health, ultimately a concern as well. Wendy, final word. Jump back in here.
Yeah, so I feel like the whole league, to a certain extent, is going to change when Giannis is moved. And I do believe he will be moved. And when that happens, there's going to be a change in the balance of power. The team that acquires him is going to become, on some level, a contender. And so that's why we spend all of this time paying attention to it. But when you're trading a player that makes $50 million in this modern day and age, it's extraordinarily complicated. And that's why it's very tedious. But every single day that goes by, these negotiations, it's because there's so much stakes. There's so much skin in the game. And that's why we talk about it every day.
It was so much fun when this started with Giannis saying, I don't want to request a trade. I just, remember all that?
Yeah, it was very annoying.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, come
on,
let's
Wrap it up.
go.
We got other things to get to. We've already wrapped the Cowboys this summer. We got to wrap LeBron. We got to get Giannis. As the Knicks celebrated their first championship in 53 years. This year's title gave Knicks fans a parade for the first time since, forever. The city didn't host one for either of the team's previous titles. More than 2 million people lined the parade route along the Canyon of Heroes in Lower Manhattan, with the celebration ending at City Hall. Here's Jalen Brunson and head coach Mike Brown with their message to the city.
Thank you to the fans. I'm not gonna lie though, y'all are some pretty hard critics, but we appreciate it. At least I do. And lastly, there's a lot of people that have a lot of negative stuff to say. There's a lot of people who have a lot of opinions. But when you prove them wrong, you really don't have to say to them.
What's up, New York? This championship is about you guys. This is New York City's championship. Let's go one time. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? I love you, New York.
Two slightly different messages to the city, but both very positive and very on brand for this New York Knicks team. Vince, Wendy, Monica are here. Shocking that you two are here after covering the parade yesterday. Look forward to seeing what game you're bringing to the table. Vince, you were covering the parade, like just general sense. What was it like out there?
6 in the morning. That's what time I got up. That's what time I got to the parade was 6 a.m. And people were lined up at 10 p.m. the night before. Like it was like the world's biggest barbecue, family reunion, whatever you want to call it. It was cathartic. It felt like all of the frustrations of the last X amount of years were just kind of released in that moment or over the course of the day. And none of the things that I expected to see actually happened. I expected Jalen Brunson to go address some of his critics. I expected Karl Towns to address some of his critics. Jalen Brunson, I say Jalen Brown. I hope I didn't do what the councilman did.
Hey, you were at a parade yesterday. It's all good.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that was bad. He said he was a longtime Knicks fan. I'm like, man, you showed yourself on that one. I expected normally at parades, players get a chance to flex. I didn't get a chance to see the flex. Especially, if this team has been doubted and everybody was against them and everything else, I was going to say a phrase, you're supposed to talk your stuff, and you can't because it was all this other, it was just, and the last part for me, the mayor, I thought had a really riveting speech. And I thought it was kind of cool that he incorporated all of different eras of the Knicks. And then James Dolan came and said, I don't have to say anything. I'm like, gosh, can't we just be on one page one day? That's all.
We needed to find a way
just
to
one
get
day.
away from the team and the championship.
One day.
We'll always find
just
a way
one day.
as Americans to pull something like that off. McKnight, you were out there as well. We saw you holding up the Larry yesterday. It looked like a big celebration. There it is, looking fantastic. Buys flexing, tries popping. You're part of the Knicks broadcast team on the radio. Like, what was it like being out there for you from your point of view, getting to see the city like that?
It was really incredible. Gosh, it was such a good time. That thing is heavy also. So we left City Hall. There was like a breakfast, and not City Hall, the other end of the parade. We left around 8:30, probably close to 9 o'clock. But I was walking out with Jordan Clarkson and Jose Alvarado, and we're like looking at each other like, I've never seen anything like this. And this is just going to go get on the floats to head out for the parade. And so I continue to say that this fan base is just one of a kind. There was so much energy out there for Mba. It was incredible. And I'm super humbled for the way that I've been embraced, obviously, by the city, but I've never seen anything like it. Like, it's so deep with people, just passionate, so excited to be there. I mean, the times people got out there, like, I had never seen anything like that.
And with that, the celebration and the season officially come to a close, and we turn our attention to next year. Wendy, get on in here. If the Knicks want to try to